Hey guys, welcome to Gay and Single Podcast. I'm Will,
I'm Ashley.
and this is going to be our third episode of Gay and Single, and we decided in honor of Pride Month, this episode will be relating to Pride and what Pride means to us. And yeah, so that's going to be kind of the topic for today. But just a quick checkup. Ashley, how have you been doing?
I've been good.
What have
We've
you been
been
up
we've
to?
been off for a little bit. We didn't put up an episode last week because um that's just who we are as people, right? So
Yeah.
our apologies to all of our friends, family, to my mom. I know that you were anxiously waiting for a third episode, so I'm sorry that there was a week delay in that. But hopefully we'll get back to like a regulated schedule. You know, two episodes in, I feel like if we're gonna hit hurdles, that's the time to hit the hurdles, right?
Yeah, definitely. I feel the same. So, yeah, we wouldn't want to let Regina down.
Regina, she's my biggest fan. Always, she's like, "Where's the? Are you gonna start a second podcast, Ashley?" I'm like, "Mom, gotta get the first one off the ground before we go there."
Have you even told her that we're doing one?
No,
Yeah, I didn't think so.
she does
So,
not know about it. Does your mom? Does Michelle know?
no, Michelle doesn't know what's going on.
Would Michelle? Do you think Michelle would listen?
Michelle would not listen.
Neither would
Mm-mm.
Regina. No,
Yeah.
actually, I think Regina would listen, and then she'd be like, a lot of swearing. Hmm.
Ashley, potty mouth. Should have shoved some soap in your mouth a little more often when you were growing up. She smacked you around a little bit.
You know, it's so weird getting older because, like, I don't know if I would assume your household was different, but I don't know. But in our household, swearing was not okay. It didn't matter the caliber. Like, we weren't allowed to swear in the house. Like, it was
Oh
like,
no.
watch your fucking mouth. And then I
Yeah.
left for college. I left for college, and then I'd call her, and she'd be like, "Oh, how's school?" And I'm like, "It fucking sucks, mom." And it like this like door open to where she did not care if I sweared at all. Especially now that I'm out of college, and I'm just like, "Yeah, it fucking sucks, mom." And she's like, "Yeah."
Yeah, you could not swear in my house. Like it was like a big deal. And then I'd be like, I'd say like ass, and they'd be like, you can't fucking swear. And I'm like, wait, you just swore, like you said the F word to me, but I'm not allowed to say ass. I'm like, that doesn't make sense. I'm like, you understand that? And they're like, it doesn't matter. It's what we say goes. And I'm like, oh, okay. You're right.
Yeah. I'm not really
Yeah.
understanding the disconnect here, mom.
Yeah. One time I swore in middle school after I got called an asshole. I may have told you this before, but I got called an asshole by this kid in FACS class. Is that what it was called? Something
Ooh,
like that.
family and consumer science class.
Family and Consumer
I
Sciences, yes.
big
I think it was the
fan.
Pizza Pizzazz unit. And somebody called me an
Pizza
asshole. I told them to
pizzazz.
go fuck themselves. And I think I was in like sixth grade and I got detention for it. And then
Detention.
I'm
I
like,
didn't
oh
know
my,
they gave detention in middle school.
they they do half-hour detentions. So I got a
Never
half-hour
heard of her.
detention and a call home, and my mom and dad were so angry because I said that, and I'm like, I was defending myself. Somebody called
Yeah.
me an asshole first. I want to make that clear. Like I didn't just go
Mhm.
out and call somebody that. I'm like, okay, so first off, cool down. But like, yeah, I got in a lot of trouble for that, and so like I was emotionally scarred from swearing. Like I didn't swear because I was like, if I do, I'm gonna get in trouble. Like, and I don't know, I would feel like it'd be an unreasonable amount of trouble that I would get in, but it was usually fine. So
Yeah,
yeah,
there was usually I would say like shit or something. I wasn't big on the F word until later years, and now it's big fan. But it would usually be like shit or something, and there'd be like that silence, that deafening silence, and it'd sink in of, oh
yeah.
my god, what did I just do? And then it'd be like, watch your mouth. But then in like, were we friends in late high school? My late high school. You would have been in college. I don't think we were friends.
It was like on the cusp, right around there, because I feel like you were still. I don't know, like we would talk, but not really. We knew of each other.
Yes. So your boyfriend, my best friend Scott, we used to be big fans of smoking cigars in high school.
Yeah, in my fucking driveway.
And that's how I met you. I was smoking a cigar in your driveway. I didn't even think I introduced myself. I just showed up. Because we
Yep.
needed somewhere to smoke. And, like, not even weed, like a cigar. I mean, I don't think
Yep.
I was 17. I didn't turn 18 until college. But
When we first met, and it was, yeah, you guys were definitely smoking cigars in my apartment driveway, and I wasn't home. And then I show up, and I'm like, why the hell are you here? And it's just
we were there
smoking
before you.
cigars in my driveway, and I'm like, okay, I'm going inside now.
Have fun, kids. What a weird fucking thing. Imagine being in, like, what year in college were you? Like, junior?
I was about to
Out of
graduate.
college?
I was like, no, I was about to graduate, or I already graduated. Because if I was living in that apartment, yeah, that was right around the time where me and my ex had moved into that apartment, and it was like he was still in school. I had just finished like that semester, so like, yeah, I was going to be graduating. And it's surreal, right? You must have been in
Yeah.
your last year. You must have been in your senior year of high school then.
I had to be in my senior year of high school at that point.
Yeah.
But, like, imagine you're out of college. I mean, you don't have to imagine you're there. You're out of college. You're an adult now. And then these fucking teeny bopper high schools are smoking cigars in your driveway. Like, get the fuck out.
You know what? I was just like,
I don't know
whatever.
how we're friends.
There was a lot of weird things that happened at that apartment, and we're not going to mention it right now. So
I
like,
love it.
it's fine.
But
It's
the
just a weird
reason that I
experience.
brought this up is because I wanted to know if you were there, because I remember in, like, high school, my sister, we lived together, believe it or not, in high school. We used to
Unbelievable.
host, like, the friend gatherings because we were all part of the same friend group. So everyone would come over to our place, and it's fairly small, so, like, if you're loud, you can hear it anywhere in the house, right? So,
Yeah.
like, everyone would not censor themselves because it's just friends being friends. And it's not like we're in the basement or anything. We're, like,
Dudes
down the
being bros.
hall. We're just dudes being bros and just being like, fuck you for beating me in Mario Kart, fuck you. And my mom's just, like, in her bedroom, just, like, listening to that crap. And then you'd hear the door shut, and that's how
And
you
you know
know.
it's real.
That's how you know when she's over your shit, and you're gonna get a talking to when everyone leaves the house, because no.
I do know that. No, my mom and dad would be the same and be like, okay, well, whatever. But my dad, to this day, I'll go home and I'll say like the F word, and he'll be like, you can't swear. And I'm like, I'm literally 28. Pretty sure I can do what I want. Like, what are you gonna do? Kick me out of your house that I don't live in? Okay, good luck with that.
Fucking got me, bitch.
When you stop swearing, I'll stop swearing. How about that? We'll make a deal because I know you
Yeah.
can never do it, so we're good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but whenever we'd go over to your house, all of us were in the living room, and your parents would be in the kitchen, probably playing Yahtzee. That's their favorite.
Yeah, this is a go-to.
And the one thing that I would get scolded about is if I talked about anything sexual in regards to you or Kayla. I'd be like, Ashley, you need to fucking stop. My parents are right there.
Yeah, I mean,
I'd be like,
seriously, like, I'd be
"Ugh."
like, okay, stop talking, literally. Like, I'm gonna
Yeah.
die right now.
Yeah, but I was in high school getting drunk off straight vodka, so I didn't care. And I was like, I'm gonna keep going.
Yeah, no. All right. Well, anyway, so, anyway, you didn't tell me how your week has been going. We got a
Oh,
little
it's been
off
good.
topic. Yeah.
It's been good. I mean, we've been off topic for a hot minute here, but
Yeah.
it's an okay week. Work is stressful. I feel like work is always stressful.
Yeah.
But otherwise good. I've been eating my oats. I believe we talked about them in the last episode. They're very good. I have these overnight oats, and I shake them up right before bed. I put a little health oil in them, put a little vanilla, a little dip in of vanilla, and I wake up and I eat breakfast. It's unheard of in my
Incredible.
life. I haven't ate breakfast, I think, in how old am I? I haven't ate breakfast in like 20 years. Like,
That's really
since I
not
was like
healthy,
a child.
you know?
Well, I'm just like a tired person, so I'm like really bad in the mornings. So I wake up and I'm like, I give myself, I might have said this last episode, I give myself the amount of time that I need to get ready as fast as possible. Last year, I gave myself 10 minutes to get ready in the morning.
That's
And I was
ridiculous.
like, you're fucking crazy. And I eventually realized that wasn't good for my sanity. So we bumped it to 15. And then since then, we've added a half hour.
See, yeah, I need like a good hour to just like get up, function. I mean, there's 15 minutes of like self-questioning of whether I should even be going.
Yeah.
Why am I doing this? And then like it's like, okay, you have to do this. You have bills you have to pay. Get up. I'm like, okay, fine, I'll do it. But there's that self struggle for like 15 minutes. I have to work that in, and then it's just like preparing myself to like be ready to drive to work because that's a whole thing. Even though that hasn't happened recently, that's usually in the routine. That's about 10 minutes, and then the rest of it's actually getting around. So really like half hour of actually getting around. But I still do food in that amount of time somehow. I don't know how.
Yeah. The oats have really helped me because I just grab them out of the fridge and then drink them in the car.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
been
that makes it a lot
incredible.
easier. Yeah, so much easier than having to like actually make food in the morning. Now I can make gourmet meals because I'm working from home all the time. But like once I go back
I,
to work, I'm probably gonna go those oats.
yeah, I miss working from home because I start work at 8 and I would wake up at like 7:55, whip out the laptop, be like, we're ready to go. But now I go to the office, so
Yeah.
it's like
Yeah.
there's something really selfish about it that I enjoy a lot. Like, wow, we did that. And then my boss made me bread the other day, and she's like, yeah, I got up at 5 a.m. to like bake the bread. And I was like, because she proofed it overnight. And I'm just thinking, I literally got up like right before I left the house. So, like, I'm glad we're on two different levels. So I didn't say that. I was going to be like, you're up at 5 a.m. I don't even want to be here now. If I could go back to bed, I'd go back to bed. Like,
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, I'm not gonna sit there and pretend like, hey, I want to be here. I don't want to be here. Like, let's be real with
I
each other.
wish I wish I could be a morning person. I wish I could get up at 5 a.m. and bake bread. I do, but that's not me.
No, God, no, no, I could never. I don't want to be
No.
that person. Honestly, no.
Scott might be that person.
I'm good. I don't care to be that person ever.
Hmm.
So,
All right. Well, how about you? How's your week been?
it's been good. You know that I've been sick. We've discussed that. So, for everyone listening, I've been sick, which is probably one of the reasons why we haven't been recording because I've had a super bad ear infection and I'm not going to get all gross about it, but it's been not cool. So, here we are, feeling a little better. And yeah, the rest of my week has been good. Work was good this week. I'm
Good.
going to leave it at that. I don't
It's
want to
good to
jinx
hear.
that. And yeah, so that's about it.
And it's your birthday.
It is my birthday. It's my birthday today. I'm turning
Happy birthday,
28,
Will.
and I'm not excited about that. So don't message me about it because I don't love it.
Yeah. Yeah. We'll just cut that out.
Yeah, let's just not say anything about my birthday. That's fine. Yeah, but
I sent you a nice little birthday video, and I said, "Happy birthday! Aren't you so excited to be like 42?" I think it was along that line, and I was happy with that, and I decided to submit that video. So you're welcome.
yep. Yeah, I got it. It was a real gem. Thank you so much. It really,
I
really making me think about how old I am. I
I
really
took
love that.
4 videos. I took 4 videos. Um, in one of them, I really went into depth about how I'm going to move in with you and never leave. I brought it up
See, that was
casually
in
in
that
the
video, though. The
but
one
in
that you
one
did
I
submit.
went
Yeah.
the one video I sent, well, I didn't send it, that I recorded, it only talked about that. And I was like, well, I think we're missing the birthday, so we'll re-record.
Might want to actually include that little bit, like the most important piece of the
Happy
whole thing.
birthday. And then there was another video that I recorded where I pretended that you had no idea who I was. It was like, hey, like, someone asked me to submit you a video. I don't really know who you are. I'm Ashley. So nice. And it was like funny, and then like I was watching it back and I'm like, okay, again, the point. Get there. So alas, we went with the 42.
Well, I appreciate it nonetheless. It was very sweet, and thank you very much. And if anyone is listening that made videos for my birthday, I appreciate it. They were all lovely. So thank you so much. Appreciate it.
And if you were listening to this and you didn't make a video,
You know who you are.
submit one. Submit one.
Submit
Even if you don't know who we are, we're ready for them.
Yeah. Like if you clearly didn't send a video to my boyfriend to upload into a video for me to watch on my birthday, you know who you are. So that pretty much sums it up. But yeah, that's the rest of my week, and there's really not much else going on. So yeah, I think we're pretty much caught up to date on that.
All right, cool. We can start talking about the actual point of this episode is that it's Pride Month
Yeah,
and
now
there's
that
a
you
lot of
made it
stuff
this
going
far.
on. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff going on, but we do want to talk about Pride Month because this is the gay and single podcast. So um, we're kind of letting Will take the reins on this one.
Yeah, so yeah, gay and single, the whole part of our one half of our episode being the gay part of it, which is me. Um yeah, we wanted to just kind of talk about it because it's something that's very important obviously to a lot of people out there, and it's obviously very important to me. Pride month, it has never been really prevalent in my life, and there's a reason for that, and I'll kind of talk about that. But I think it is important, and kind of just we want to get a feel for how we both feel about Pride Month, and kind of share that with you guys. So really, I mean, I feel like this whole thing talks about like what it means to be gay and what Pride really is. Um, I mean, for me, I don't know. It's very confusing for somebody who is gay but like struggled with figuring that out and like figuring out who you are, because that was definitely me. Because I didn't start coming out until I was in college. So it was very hard for me to like accept myself and be okay with it. Whereas I envy those who have been able to do it way earlier in life, because it takes a lot of courage to do that, because when you're going through it, you're thinking your whole life's going to end, and you're super worried about what everyone's going to think, when really it doesn't fucking matter what anyone thinks. As long as you are okay with yourself and you're happy and you love yourself, that's what matters. So, yeah, I think it's very important. So, I figure just because in the spirit of pride and you guys really not knowing me very well, especially if you've just started listening to us, a little bit about me and my backstory as far as my coming out, and how that was for me. So making a long story short, I'm from a very small conservative area. Actually, me and Ashley are both from the same area.
Mm-hmm.
Like 7,000 people at most on a good day. That's it.
A good day.
Backwoods, New York. Okay, that's where we're
Yeah.
from. So you don't run into a lot of people that are overly accepting of gay people or anyone that really doesn't fit the bill as like your stereotypical all American boy, that type of thing.
Yeah, where we're from, there's nothing that even kind of resembles diversity,
No.
and it definitely takes a toll on the people that you're raised with. You can
Yeah.
see that.
Yeah, definitely. And the people who raise you, I mean, I feel like it is what it is. They're from this area. They've always been from this area, and this is just how they think. And
Mm-hmm.
they decide not to get cultured, and that's just the way it is in that area, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, so I mean, it's obviously small town. Everyone's gossipy. But anyway, I was in college for the first time I actually came out. I had been friends with my ex in high school, and then in college, we actually ended up going to the same school. Became friends again. I had no idea that he was gay. I don't think he had any idea I was. Um, and I guess people usually say they can't tell for me. I don't really know how, but like, okay, fine, sure. So anyway, so we were like just hanging out as friends, and then we decided to move in together as roommates because we just got along really well. He had a terrible roommate, and I lived by myself at the time, and I wanted to save money. So that's what we ended up doing. Then it kind of turned into something more, obviously. It just kind of built over time, and then we were like, okay, well, maybe I have feelings for him, and come to find out he had feelings for me. So that was great, fine, so whatever. So we ended up getting into a relationship, but it was kind of like secret. We didn't really tell anyone, because we were deathly afraid of what would happen. Well, fast forward, there were a bunch of other people in my life that, and if you're ever listening, you know who you are. So that kind of started rumors that necessarily weren't confirmed true, but ended up being true. But you just like you didn't know because
Mm-hmm.
no one told you. You just made assumptions, right?
Yeah.
Well, then their family members talked to family members that were friends with my family members, particularly one of my cousins. And one day so my cousin invited one of his friends to come to my family's Christmas party, right? A Christmas party of all
You guys have Christmas
times.
parties?
We used to. We don't do it anymore. I
I
don't
was
know
gonna
why.
say,
Yeah.
have
No,
fun
but it
with
used
it.
to be a thing. It used to be a yearly thing. Anyway, so that's going off topic. So Anyway, so he invited him, and he came into the house and he was shit faced, and I don't know, there was like drama between myself, his sister, and so like he had beef with me, I guess, and it was a whole thing. And then he decided that he was just gonna oust me in front of my entire family at my Christmas party, right? And so I was like, I died inside a little. I was very angry and upset and scared. Um, but in the end, it all ended up being okay. You know, my family was
Hmm.
super accepting. It took a little time for like my mom to come around. My dad was super accepting, which I was not expecting at all. And they've definitely like flipped their idea of what it means as far as gay people and being accepting of that type of culture. Because I mean, again, they come from a small area. They're really not cultured at all. So it was a big thing for them to accept that. So, and it was a really good thing. But yeah, it's definitely hard for me coming from a conservative area. I really didn't have the exposure to like pride or anything LGBTQ plus related. Like it just wasn't something that was ever out there for me. And I didn't
No.
know anyone who was either because I come from such a small area that I didn't know anyone. I mean, you probably, if you did you know anyone that was gay in our school? I mean, I don't.
Um, Other than like Scott when he came out to me, and maybe he was the only one. Yeah, not really. Like, and if people were, they might have come out later, but like people weren't like openly gay in high school. That just wasn't a thing, and it had to do with where we were from. Like,
Yeah,
people were shitty. Like, it fucking sucked. Like,
yeah.
people, like, not, I'm not saying that about everyone. If you're listening to this and like we used to be friends in high school, like, I'm not talking about you.
I
But
just want to
like,
make that little disclaimer right now. Like, if you're
disclaimer,
okay
this
and
is
I
not
liked
about
you a
the,
little bit, you're okay.
not to make a general statement about the entire town, but like, it wasn't a thing. Like, like sexism, racism, and homophobia, like those were very prevalent. And like you didn't see that a lot because people weren't visible, right? There
Yeah,
was no visibility of those groups where we're from. So I think like learning about that, like learning about homophobia and racism and sexism and everything. Well, sexism was a thing, but like you learned more about it when you left fucking town because it wasn't
yeah,
a thing. Like it
yeah.
sucked.
It was just like an unspoken. You don't talk about it, and like even if
Yeah.
it was talked about, it wasn't a big deal. Like it's just like okay, well that's not okay, and that's not normal. So that's the way it's looked at, and it's just not okay, you know. And so for
Yeah.
me, like that was really hard. And I'd be like scared. Like I'd never gone to a pride parade. I actually have never still gone to one, believe it or not. Actually, this year was going to be our first year going. We now live in, so my boyfriend and I actually live in St. Petersburg, Florida. If anyone listening is familiar with that area, it houses one of the largest pride parades in. It is the largest pride parade, I believe, in the state of Florida. So we were going to go this year, and unfortunately, with coronavirus, it was canceled or moved to I think September. But I'm sure it'll be pushed again because yeah, cases are skyrocketing right now. So that's beside the point. But unfortunately, I really didn't have that exposure to it like I would love to have. And it kind of sucks because I feel like people that are gay or um, whatever, if you're still trying to find yourself, it's so hard to do that if you're not exposed to it, and your life almost gets like put on hold for your self-discovery to find out who you are. So like for me, I didn't start figuring that out until I was in college because I wasn't in a place where I felt
Yeah.
comfortable enough talking about it, and now I live in an area. I've learned to just accept and love myself and not let other people make me feel bad about who I am. And so like now I'm going through that self-discovery. I'm still doing it, I feel like, at this point. But like it's huge, and I feel like that pride outlet allows people to get out there, be themselves, and like just celebrate who they are. So, yeah, I mean that's kind of what it is to me. Um and as far as like my experience with it, I know a lot of people that have gone. They always have a great time. It looks like it's a lot of fun. So hopefully we'll be able to go to ours soon, and I would love for
Hmm.
Ashley to come and go as
Oh,
well.
I'll absolutely be there. There's no chance I'm missing it.
I just kind of want to talk about, and for those who also don't know what pride is or what really a pride parade is for, Because I honestly didn't really know until I started looking into it a little bit more. Um, it actually has to come from the Stonewall riots, which happened back in June of 1969. Um, and for those who don't know much about it, I'm just going to give a very brief history. I recommend you looking it up, to get a full
Yeah,
grasp on what
it's
actually
very
happened
important.
and
Yeah.
and clarify my misjudgment of what I'm reading, if that's what it ends up being. So anyway, basically in the early mornings of June 28th of 1969, in New York City, Greenwich Village, there was this gay bar called the Stonewall Inn. And basically, what ended up happening is, at around that time, I guess there were a bunch of police raids that, unfortunately, they would target these gay bars and, I don't know, cause issues with them, arrest people that really shouldn't have been arrested. They'd rough up patrons, what have you. So they particularly on this evening they did a raid and they arrested employees, they roughed up patrons, and they cleared the bar out. Well, I guess this has been happening so often that at the time there were people around the surrounding area that saw what was going on. They started to riot, and then at one point there were over 400 rioters in the area that were kind of resisting police, and it persisted for 5 days after. And this kind of sparked the gay rights movement. Now, there's a lot of history before this that I'm not going to go over because there is a lot of it. It actually starts at the end of the 1800s, early 1900s, and it's actually very interesting. It's kind of all over the world. So I recommend anyone that's listening definitely do some research into it because it's interesting where
Yeah.
you see all these pocket, movements happening. But this is where it kind of sparked the main movement that we see today. And then it eventually evolved into like not just like a it was kind of like a march for like remembering these Stonewall riots, but then it turned into more of a celebration of who people are and like that portion of it, celebration of being,
Hmm.
LGBTQ plus. So like that type of thing. But it's very interesting. You should definitely check it out, read more into it. I learned a lot. Again, I didn't have a lot of experience with it or a lot of exposure to it, so I'm glad that we kind of did this episode because it gives me, that exposure that I needed to kind of get um, an idea of, I don't know, my connection with Pride, I guess.
Hmm. Yeah, it's definitely worth educating yourself and learning more and becoming more woke of what's going on in the
Woke.
world.
Get woke.
Woke.
Yeah.
Get woke.
Well, I
Yeah.
mean, especially, everything is crazy right now in this world. And so, like, I don't know, just celebrate who you are, where, you know, what it took you to get there. Because, I mean, everyone goes through a struggle. If you're it can be anything. I mean, you don't even have to be gay to be going through some sort of struggle that's really difficult in your life. It could be simply, you have a bad home life or whatever, but it's something that you're struggling through. And it can just be, something about self discovery. So that's kind of what this has all been for me, is just kind of looking into like what it actually means to be gay. Do I think gay classifies me as a person personally? I don't. um, I'm just me. That's just a part of who I am. But it's a part of me that people have to accept, because
Yeah.
I embrace it. I'm accepting of it. Took me a long time to be okay with it, but everyone else should be too.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, I love you and I support you always. And thank you so much for sharing everything.
I love you too. You're one of my best friends. So if you didn't support me or love me, then I would hate you and we would never talk again. So, like,
Yeah.
sorry.
Yeah. I feel like you and Scott have always been those people that I will always go to bat for. You know, like if someone was like trying to throw down with you, I'd be in your corner kind of thing. Like there's not always a lot of people that I'm like, I'll put everything on the line for you, but you two are definitely those people for me.
Same.
And it's definitely been that way with like high school and Scott, where like if anyone had shit to say, it's not happening.
We know. We know. We've seen the
That's
receipts.
that's not happening.
Yeah, it's not happening. I mean, and I appreciate that because I feel like I've gone through so many friendships where, like, it's kind of almost shitty where you'll go through a friendship and if it's not beneficial to the other person, they just leave you. They cast you aside. You know what I mean? And it's so
Yeah.
having somebody that's actually there for me through thick and thin is important. Especially because being, like I said, being gay is a part of who I am. Not
Yeah.
everyone is accepting of that. Why? I don't know, because what I'm doing shouldn't affect you. I, you know what I mean? Like, I let people be who they are, so you should let me be who I am. Like, I'm not gonna bug you. You shouldn't bug me. So,
Hmm.
and this is how I've always been. I'm very non-confrontational. So, for somebody to give me crap about who I am and something I can't change, that's very hard. And usually, I just shut down. I try not
Yeah.
to do that, but it's hard not to, because it's literally somebody's bashing you for being something that you can't help. You know what I mean? And I
Yeah.
wouldn't change it anyway. Even if I could, I wouldn't change it at this point, because I enjoy who I am in my life, and I wouldn't change anything. So,
Hmm. Yeah, I think it's definitely been very as getting older and going to college and expanding on your education, you kind of learn what values are important to you, and being able, especially being from a small town where the people that you were surrounded by, those are the people that are there. Like, you don't have options, right? Like, you
yeah.
don't choose who you're surrounded by. And then getting, like, expanding your range and going to college and being like, you know what, like, I don't stand for that shit. That's fucked up and it's not right and it's not the world that I want to live in. And being able to say, I don't like you because of your values. Well, maybe not that. Actually, not that at all. It's more so like, that's really fucked up and here's why. I
Yeah.
studied a lot of like social movements in college and social problems, and like studying like the Stonewall riot and different forms of discrimination, and it just like is such a like eye-opening experience, like being like, again, being from a small town, like you don't think racism is a thing or you don't think homophobia is a thing because people aren't open about it, or like
Mm-hmm.
you don't have diversity. And then learning like how fucked up the world is and how much progress that still needs to be made in so many regards. It's just,
Yeah.
it's motivating
Yeah.
more than anything else.
And I will say though, I feel like, again, our hometown area, um, I do see some individuals who are woke and they know what's going on and
Absolutely.
what's right and what's
Absolutely.
not right. So for those,
Especially our generations.
yeah, for those out there that do stand up for what's right, thank you, because it makes a difference to everyone like me, and people that are going through struggles. So it makes a huge difference to know that people out there care. Um, but yeah, I mean, it's always been a struggle, and I'm looking forward to more experience. As far as like Pride, I actually thought I was going to be walking for my employer this year in the parade, so maybe that'll still happen. I really don't know, but if I do, I will probably let you guys know. I'm
Gosh,
hoping we
I'm
do.
so glad that they're doing that. Send the squad out. Send them out.
Send the squad, put the squad out. Yeah. But yeah, I'm hoping that I get to do that, because that would be really cool for me, and it would give me a great first experience. I feel like, I mean, yes, I would love to be there just to be involved, but I'd love to also be in it. So
Hmm.
that'd be fun.
There's so much to say about like Pride Month and both of our experiences with it, and um, but
I mean,
that's
have you had
we
a
gotta
lot of
talk
experience with it? Like,
with like Pride Month itself.
have you ever been to like a parade? Have you ever done anything relating to Pride Month before? Or
No, I haven't, and I've wanted to.
again, I think it's just the area. I think
I think
that
it's the area because where we went to school across from each other, right?
college,
And
to be
we didn't,
specific.
yeah, college, specifically. There was no pride parade. That wasn't a thing. At least not to my knowledge. Was there?
No, no. You would have had to go to Buffalo, pretty much Buffalo. I bet in your area there's going
Yeah,
to be something going on.
absolutely. Well, Denver. So I live in
Yeah,
Colorado. Denver definitely has a ton of Pride Month stuff, and
yeah.
they have a lot of incredible stuff going on. So
Well, that'll be cool.
absolutely, if they do it, I'll definitely go. I'd want to.
Yes, I love that. You should. I should come and go too. Let's go together.
Come over.
Okay.
Come
I'm just
hang.
gonna come over.
Come
I'll
chill.
just book a quick flight. I'll be right there. It's fine.
Yeah. Eventually, in the future, hopefully we'll be able to sit down and record a podcast together.
Yes, that's ideal. But we make it work, and we enjoy
We
it.
make
So
it
we get
work.
to catch up.
I want to talk about, real quick, garbage plates. Have you ever had one from Rachacha?
Oh, stop it! Of course, I've had a garbage plate.
I
Plate. Bleh. Can't speak.
so like neither of us are in New York anymore, and we're from Western New York, where wings, big thing, Buffalo, garbage plates, Rochester, big thing.
Yeah.
Sponge candy, salt rising bread. What else?
Mm.
Beef on Wicks. Oh my god. I would love to do a podcast exclusively on like Western New York food. Like when we go home to New York, let's get all of it and like sit down.
Okay. Yeah. So we go around to the different locations, securing the food, tasting it,
Securing the food.
commenting, securing,
Securing the
on it.
bag. We have to go to Buffalo. I'm personally, do you like Anchor Bar or do you like Duff's?
You know, okay.
What's your go-to wing place?
Here's my thing.
What did I say? Wing of choice.
You probably don't. Maybe you don't know this. I'm really not that much of a wing person. Like the thought of chewing on a wing is. I don't want to say it's like the worst possible thing that I can think of, but I wouldn't enjoy it. Like I'm not sitting here like, ooh, I can't wait to like chew and suck on this bone with veins in it. Like
I don't know who's sucking on their wings, but
okay,
stop it if you are.
I have watched people sucking on some wings before. I want to make that clear.
Okay,
I want to put it out into the universe, and I'm
no
not
offense,
about it.
No offense to Scott. I love you so much. You're my best friend. We've known each other our entire life. Watching Scott eat a wing is like a transforming experience.
It's painful.
Just like,
I'm just like, oh my god, what is happening right now?
Every little bite. But,
yeah. Well, there you go. So that's what I witness, and I'm just like, I can't. And then, but I will say, I've been to Duff's. According to Scott, Duff's is the best. That's where you have to go for your wings. Great,
Duff's
fine, whatever. I'm a boneless wing bitch. I'll eat a boneless wing all day, any day. But let's be real, it's really like a chicken popper. That's fine. As long as it has a good sauce on it, I'm there. And their sauces are really good. Their food was actually pretty good, I would say, for what it is. I've never been to Anchor Bar. I wanted to go. We never ended up going because when we lived there, we were like poor, so we couldn't afford to go out all the time. But I've heard that's also good. So I don't know. But they say Duff's is the original, so you got to go to Duff's.
Duff's is very good. Duff's, this is going to be so out of left field. They have incredible celery. I don't know where they procure their celery.
Oh my
God. It is unlike... It's like you're not even eating celery. It's that good. Go to Duff's, get some celery. Tell me about it if you're from the Western New York area. Because, fuck, they just, like, slap. Because, like, it... I don't know how to explain it.
Maybe they dip it in MSG.
It's a transforming experience. I'm sure. It's coated.
Hand dipped in MSG. That's why it's so good. You can't stop eating it.
So we'll go to Buffalo, get some wings.
Okay.
We'll go over to Rachacha, get some garbage plates.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Pick up some beef on Wicks on the way, some salt rising bread, some sponge candy. We'll get all the goods and we'll come back.
Yeah, definitely. I think that's a great idea. Wow, that could be incredible.
Sorry, I got really hungry for a second and I really wanted a garbage plate because I just wanted to clog my veins, you know?
Yeah, no, that sounds really good, but I don't feel like here in Florida, I can't find any place that has that good of food. And most places here are chains, and it's just like, I don't get it. We don't come from an area like that. We come from an area that has a lot of non-chain restaurants that are very good. So, like, it's a struggle here. But I'm trying to branch out. I think we're going to branch out for dinner tonight because it's birthday dinner.
Oh, so where are we going? Where are we going for dinner?
I don't know yet. I'm going to look on Yelp, I think, and just see what's going on. Because I look on like Uber Eats, but like it gives me all the chain restaurants and I don't want that. So I'm going to try to find something that I want on Yelp and then I'm going to search for it on Uber Eats and then we'll see what happens. You know what I mean? Kind of just go from there.
I understand that. I feel like out here, I normally, pre-pandemic, I would never go to a chain restaurant because there's so many breweries out here. The local places are all to die for. Pick anywhere, it's probably pretty good.
Yeah.
But since the pandemic hit, I've been ordering a lot of like Postmates or Uber Eats or something, and It's all chain restaurants. And then Uber was like, oh, we're doing discounts on local restaurants. I'm like, scrolling through where? Where are they then, Uber?
I think that's fake
Fucking
because I'm not
liars.
seeing it.
I'm like, no wonder you're doing free delivery because they don't exist. They're not on this app.
Yeah, you don't have to worry about it because you're not gonna find one.
Yeah. They're like, do you want Chuck E. Cheese? No, I don't.
Well, T-Mobile thinks we want Chuck E. Cheese, so
Yeah. T-Mobile
I mean,
Tuesdays.
hey,
I
that's
don't.
nice for parents out there that you know
Yeah.
they want to get a free pizza or whatever from Chuck E. Cheese. I mean, that's a good deal, but like, we don't want that.
So what we're talking about real
Yeah.
quick is
Oh,
that
yeah.
T-Mobile, if you're serviced with T-Mobile, they have this app called T-Mobile Tuesdays where T-Mobile customers get like offers or deals or something. And lately it's been like 10 cents off gas with Shell. Just recently they had you get a free one topping pizza if you spend $5 at Chuck E. Cheese. Oh, summer of what was it, 2018 or 2019? It had to be 2019. They were
Yeah,
doing free lattes at Dunkin'.
that was lit.
Oh my, that was I'm telling you, that was the best time of my entire life. I peaked. Free latte? Oh my god! I'll tell the story again. I would go to Dunkin', I'd get my latte, drive over to Tim Hortons, get a breakfast sandwich. I'd come home and like serotonin just everywhere, surrounded by it. My god.
I love it. Oh,
Oh my
I
gosh.
miss Tim Hortons so much. Oh God, I'd miss their coffee. That's I don't know. It's sad. They don't have that down in the South. They also don't have Wegmans, and it's real sad. So if you know what Tim Hortons or Wegmans is, you're blessed.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Honestly.
If you don't know, you're better off not knowing. That's all I've got to say.
Do you, what is it? Is it the Wegmans in Rochester that's like
Palace.
celebrities will just go there
I
to
don't
just
know.
like be?
Just be there. Yeah, no, I
I
don't know.
remember my my college professor would talk about this specific Wegmans all the time. She's like, I live near it. That's my Wegmans because she'd commute,
Yeah.
and she would brag about. She's like, yeah, celebrities just come to like visit because it's the Wegmans, and I'm like, I love that. And I'm just like sitting there paying 40 grand a year, like yes.
I'm so glad
Tell
I'm
me all
sitting here
about
listening to your
Wegmans.
grocery store obsession. But I mean, it's my grocery store obsession too, but like, it's a guilty pleasure really because I was like too poor to go there all the time. So like, when I could, I was like, okay, this is a good day. But yeah, I mean, we have that here, but Florida people are like, ooh, Publix, I love it. And it's like, it's okay.
I stand by Publix's pumpkin pies
Publix, their Publix, key lime pie,
bakery.
love it. So,
Bucks. I
yeah.
I would go to Publix to just get a couple. I would buy my expensive. I think it's called Dave's bread. It's like $6 bread. Oh my god,
I'll
they're
have to
so
try
good
that.
though.
I'll have to try it. You keep raving about it, and it's like I've never had it, so I think I'll
If
have to
you
give
want
it
to
a
have
try.
sandwiches, if you want to have sandwiches for a week, get Dave's.
Okay. All right.
I got Dave's bread. I got some ham, and I got some provolone cheese, and I just fucked for a week. You know what I mean? Like yes.
I mean, not exactly, but I'll put it together.
Like.
Fucked for a week. You can't put the ingredients out there and say that. It doesn't work that way. Oh my
I did not
God.
have sex with a sandwich. No.
Just a clarification.
I had a great time, but like
Oh my God, that was so funny. Oh, anyway, so what are you trying to work towards this week? What's your situation? What are your goals?
so my goal for this week, that's a really good question. Thank you for asking. I want to talk about two things. I want to talk about how we're going to be playing Villainous tonight. We can talk about that. And then I've been watching The Vampire Diaries, rewatching, shall we say. I think I finished 5 seasons in a week.
That's insane.
It's been really good. It's tripped down memory lane.
I've done that. I can't say anything. I've done it. I can't do it with Scott. So anyone listening, my boyfriend like refuses to binge watch shows and it drives me insane. It's probably
Yeah.
healthy to not do that, but like I'm sorry. If the show is good, I just want to watch the damn show. I want to watch it and get it done, not drag it out over a long period of time. But we can't do that. because we'll watch an episode and be like, okay, we're done. No, we're not done. We literally watched an episode. Like,
oh my God. He'll watch one episode every 2 weeks.
I know.
And it's like, fuck you, Scott. Sorry, not fuck you, Scott. I love you so much. Watch more than one episode.
Okay, but like, so I have a struggle with binging shows because I can't.
You just do it on your own if you're going to do it.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess my goal for this week is to binge watch something. I don't know what yet, but I'm going to binge watch it. Ooh, The Morning Show. That's what I'm going to binge watch because we've been watching that.
Scott,
we're just going to finish it.
I want to watch that. Scott and I watched the first episode when I was staying with you guys over Christmas, but
It's good.
We didn't make it past that. I don't know how many
good.
episodes there were, though, at that time.
It's got my 2 girls in it, Jennifer Aniston and Reese Witherspoon. And they're in this show together, and that just makes it so good. I love them. That's it. I'm not going to go on my rant, but I love them. That's all that I'm going to say.
Have you seen the Epstein doc?
No, I was told I need to watch that, though. So I think I'm going to watch that, too. Yeah.
Don't watch
I'm going to give her a
like,
watch.
If you're, like, in the mood to feel, like, unhappy and frustrated and just, like...
That's the go-to,
an overwhelming existential crisis. If you're ready for that, perfect documentary.
Oh, cool. Okay, I needed one of those, so...
It's good, though. It's really
probably
good.
Tune in. Awesome. Yeah, so that's my goals. Just those 2.
Yeah.
That's it. I don't have anything else. I'm not really working towards anything right now.
Yeah, I feel like lately I've just been trying to survive the weeks.
Yeah, not even try to thrive, just survive. Like, I'm here.
Yeah.
I'm existing.
Thriving.
It's okay.
Thriving feels like asking too much at the moment. I can't do that.
God, I love that.
All right, well, we're probably going to wrap it up there. Don't forget that you can follow us on social media, Gay and Single Podcast on Facebook and Instagram, and Gay and Single Co. on Twitter.
Perfect.
And we will be back. Yeah, we'll be back next week with another episode of the Gay and Single Podcast.
All right, thanks, guys. Bye.
Bye.